Think about it for a second. Why do some men send text after text and get ignored, while others send just one line and suddenly she's hooked? Laughing, smiling, and waiting for more? It's not about being rich. It's not about looking like a model. It's about how you use words, because words carry energy. Words create images in her mind. Words can make her imagine you, miss you, and even crave you. Stoicism teaches us this. Control isn't about dominating the world, it's about mastering yourself. And when you master your words, you master how she feels. Today, I'll reveal 3 texting secrets no woman can resist. These aren't cheesy pickup lines. These are psychological triggers backed by timeless wisdom. Subtle, powerful, and unforgettable. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to text her in a way that makes her lean in, instead of pull away. Part 1. The mystery text. When everyone else is boring her with, "Hey, what's up?" might you flip the script? Instead of being predictable, you give her curiosity. Example. Instead of texting, "How was your day?" you say, "You won't believe what just reminded me of you." Here's why this works. Curiosity is a mental itch. She has to scratch it. It makes her feel special, because you connected something in your life to her. It's open-ended, so she has no choice but to reply. This single line turns you from just another guy into someone who excites her. She'll check her phone twice just to see what you'll say next. Part 2. The emotional mirror. Women aren't drawn to facts. They're drawn to feelings. When you reflect her emotions back to her in text, she feels seen, understood, and connected. Example. She says, "I'm exhausted from work." Most men reply, "Yeah, me too." But you reply, "I can tell you've been carrying the world on your shoulders. I admire that strength." Here's why this works. Instead of dismissing her feelings, you validate them. You don't just acknowledge her exhaustion, you highlight her strength. This makes her feel valued, not just heard. A man who can mirror a woman's emotions becomes the man she trusts. And desire follows trust. Part 3. The tease with warmth. Flirting through text is not about being vulgar. It's about dancing between playful and sincere. Example. She says, "I'm going to bed early." Most men reply, "Good night." But you reply, "Don't let your dreams be more fun than our next conversation." Here's why this works. It's playful, which keeps the spark alive. It leaves her imagining the next moment with you. It mixes humor with subtle affection, which melts her defenses. This style of teasing shows confidence without arrogance. And confidence, when mixed with warmth, becomes irresistible. Part 4. The imagination trigger. Texting isn't just about words. It's about painting pictures in her mind. When you craft a text that sparks her imagination, she starts creating a movie of you in her head. Example. Instead of saying, "I miss you," say, "If you were here right now, I'd be stealing your blanket and pretending it was an accident." Why this works? She instantly visualizes the scene, you and her together. It's playful, intimate, and makes her feel the moment. Imagination is stronger than reality, because the brain reacts to mental images as if they're real. When you master this, she won't just read your texts, she'll feel them. Part 5. The scarcity effect. If you're always available, your value drops. But if you balance warmth with scarcity, you create desire. Example. Instead of flooding her with constant texts, you say something like, "I can't talk long, but I wanted to hear your voice in my head before my day takes over." Why this works? It shows you're busy and focused, which signals value. It makes your attention feel rare and precious. Scarcity makes her crave more, because what's rare is always desired. In Stoicism, we learn not to chase what is abundant, but to value what is rare. Apply this in texting and you'll never be the one chasing. Part 6. The power of anticipation. Attraction thrives on tension, not instant gratification. When you drop hints that something exciting is coming, you lock her in emotionally. Example. Remind me to tell you the story later that I know will make you blush. Why this works? It builds anticipation, which keeps her hooked. She'll spend hours wondering what that story is. It positions you as someone who gives her a journey, not just a conversation. Anticipation is like fire. It warms her thoughts until she can't wait for the next spark. Part 7. The compliment with depth. Most men throw shallow compliments. "You're hot," or "You're pretty." She hears that 1,000 times. The secret is to go deeper. Example. Instead of "You're beautiful," say, "The way your mind works makes conversations with you addictive." Why this works? It separates you from shallow guys. It makes her feel valued beyond her looks. Compliments about her character or intelligence strike deeper. Because they're rare, A woman may smile at a compliment about her beauty, but she'll remember the man who compliments her essence. Part 8. The Playful Challenge. Women love a man who doesn't just agree with everything. By playfully challenging her, you create banter that sparks attraction. Example: she says, "I'm the best cook ever." You reply, "Bold claim. Guess I'll have to taste test to see if you're not exaggerating." Why this works? It creates fun tension instead of boring compliance. It shows confidence. You're not afraid to tease her. It makes her invest more energy to prove herself to you. This isn't about being rude. It's about being lighthearted while holding your frame. The playful challenge keeps the dynamic exciting, and excitement is the foundation of attraction. Part 9. The Mystery Layer. Attraction doesn't come from giving her everything at once, it comes from holding something back. Women are wired to chase what they can't fully figure out. Example: instead of over-explaining, drop something like, "You remind me of someone I used to know," but with sharper eyes. Why this works? It creates curiosity. She'll want to know what you mean. Mystery makes her mind chase you instead of you chasing her. The unknown is always more powerful than the known, because it keeps the imagination alive. In Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." By being mysterious, you let her thoughts be filled with your color. She's replaying your words, wondering about your layers. Part 10. The Emotional Anchor. At the core of attraction is one thing: how you make her feel. Your words should leave behind an emotional mark, a moment she keeps replaying even when you're not around. Example: it's strange how talking to you feels like a pause button in the chaos of the world. Why this works? You're associating her presence with peace, comfort, and value. Every time she reads that, she feels important and irreplaceable. It anchors her emotions to you. When she craves that feeling again, she'll come back to you. This is more than texting, it's psychological bonding. The man who can anchor emotions controls the frame of connection. Final word: the Stoic edge. Texting isn't about manipulation, it's about mastery. The difference between a boy who sends dry "Hi, what's up?" texts and a man who creates fire through his words is simple presence and intention. When you spark her imagination. Part 4. Balance warmth with scarcity. Part 5. Build anticipation. Part 6. Compliment with depth. Part 7. Playfully challenge. Part 8. Add mystery. Part 9. And anchor emotions. Part 10. You're no longer just another guy on her phone. You become the man she waits for, the man she replays in her mind, the man whose silence is louder than anyone else's attention. And that, brother, is the Stoic way of attraction. Not chasing, not begging, but moving with power, calm, and presence.